So I've been asked for the second part of my pub tour around Sheffield, so I'm outside the lead mill in Sheffield. Now there's a bit of a dispute on this because I think somebody else is trying to get the actual building or trying to run it themselves. I just don't know what's going off with it at the moment, but I know there's some dispute going off. Now it's a building I've actually never been in. So I don't know what the building was originally. But there's something really interesting here, so this has got to be modern. I can't imagine that's been around 100 years, because it's like a modern sort of thing. So I don't know what it's representing, but like I said, I've never been in it. It's probably one of the most famous night spots in Sheffield. So it's just a quick view of the lead mill. See the sign up there, which I'm assuming lights up at night. But hopefully they can sort the dispute out, whatever it is, and actually keep it going for new talent. So I'm on Arundel Gate at the moment. I'm stood outside what is now the Yorkshireman, but it had previous names, the Mulberry Tavern, but I also knew it as the Rendezvous Bar because we always used to come in here, have a drink after we come off the bus at Pond Street, and then when we were going home we'd have another half on the way home as well. So that's like 3 different names I know of. And I will like to try and find the original place of the Yorkshireman because it's only just moved here after it was knocked down from behind John Lewis. So I missed this pub the last time I did a video. It's right next to the Banker's Draft on High Street. It's not the sort of place I'm ever going to go in. I don't like the name of it. So we'll move on from there quickly. So just up here is Pinston Street. You remember the Suggs on the corner that's now called Julia's Air? You can just see Emery's up there. Now there used to be a council car park around about here-ish, and it used to be a bit hypocritical of the council. They wanted everybody to use buses, but their employees got council car parking space during the daytime, but we could actually use that at night. Well, just here was the Yorkshire Grey pub. How they got it knocked down, I don't know. There was certainly nothing wrong with the Yorkshire Grey pub. You know, so that's Union Street just there. And just down there on Charles Street is the Roebuck Arms, which I've already shown you. So we'll move on from there. We're now behind John Lewis. This is a car park at the back. You can see the Salvation Army here. Pinston Street just down there. So we're on Burgess Street. Now where you see this big new building, just there, I think that's where the Yorkshireman pub was. It's recently gone. It was condemned building, but I think as usual when it gets in the way of development, buildings get condemned in Sheffield, or I've seen others set on fire. So really sad. I'm sure they could have kept the pub here and built around it, but now they just want to progress with the reset of Sheffield. So we're now on Cambridge Street in Sheffield and got the Benjamin Huntsman here. This is a modern pub. Wetherspoons, AGD Wetherspoons, I've not seen that one before. And then on the corner, I think I might have already shown you Yates's Bar. It's really funny because someone's just come up to me and said, "Do you want to come in for a pint?" Strange me doing a video on a pub crawl video. So we're in Barker's Pool at the moment. One thing I found out is there were various pubs in the past that I'd even forgotten about, or nightclubs, and it's because they changed the names. So the actual, what I knew was Romeo and Juliet became Caro Jikes after I used it, and before that it was Bailey's and Cavendish. So that's 4 different names, and then it finished up as another nightclub before it shut down and became the job centre. So here we're on Yates here, And then we've got another Wetherspoons over here, but they're more aimed at the student type things, and we're sort of going to head up down West Street now and see what else I can find on West Street. Just another angle on Yates is there. So we're now on Carver Street in Sheffield. I'm trying to work out where, I think it was the limit was on here. We've got somewhere called the Potwell. I'm not sure if that's where the limit was originally. But people probably remind me on that. It was a decent place, but places look so dark nowadays to what I remember them. So dingy. So somewhere along here was like either limit or whatever else it was called. So we're now behind the City Hall. I've got the Slug and Lettuce, what a name. Beautiful area really. I think the Red Line was around here, so I'm going to see if I can find what was once the Red Lion. Same again, we're actually behind the City Hall. I think we're on West Street just here. And this pub here, I'm sure it's probably the Red Lion, but if I'm wrong somebody else will correct me on it. We've got the other entrance to Slug and Lettuce here. Another beautiful old building. Another angle on what I think's the Red Lion, but you'll correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if this was a pub here as well, but it looks like one. So we're on Holly Lane just here. So was it a pub or not? So another angle on what I believe is a pub. I don't remember its name. Just another angle on it as I've walked up West Street. So we've got another pub here called the Walkabout. Now, if I'm right, we knew this upstairs as Dickens and downstairs as a Metro bar, if I'm right. But I don't know how you get into the downstairs anymore like we used to do. It was like a cellar type bar. It got an atmosphere, and I preferred it far more than I did the upstairs, the Dickens part. So, other than a vague memory of well, what the building looked like, it doesn't look well. It's the original old building, but there's no reminder of it being the Dickens or the Metro bar here. And if I find if it wasn't here, the Dickens and the Metro, I'll find it later. Alright, so I'm now on West Street. It's pretty much a student area now. I can't remember really coming down West Street that much when I used to come out at night, but we've got the West Street. I don't know if this was the West Street Hotel in the past. It's now called the West Street Live anyway. We're now on Rockingham Street in Sheffield. Now we've got the Offenbrow here. I think this is a pretty modern pub. Now I'm getting a bit confused with Berlin's. If that was called a different name and that was a beer keller in the past. But this is not a place I ever went in. So outside Molly's Irish Tavern. I'm sure this is a name change from what I can remember, but I can't remember what would have been here originally on West Street. So we've got another one on West Street, never heard of this one either, Billy Big Balls. Must be another student type pub. So we're further up West Street now. We've got what looks like a proper traditional Sheffield pub, Hallamshire Hotel. That's certainly not changed name because you can see it written in the original stonework on the building. So you can see another what looks like studenty type pub here, 1 for 1. Looking like one of these continental bars, something I don't like at all. So just off West Street on Mapping Street, we've got one here called, what's it called? Revolution de Cuba. I wonder if it's a dance type place. Just gonna have a look down the side and just get an idea on it. So, I wonder if that's dancing, salsa type stuff. So we've got another what would have been a traditional Sheffield pub, and I ain't got a clue. It looks really strange. It says The Witch, W-I-C-H, but I'm sure this was a good old-fashioned Sheffield pub. If anybody knows what it was called. So even further up West Street, in a beautiful building, look up there, is the Cavendish. But I'm very cold up here. It's not somewhere where I really went pubbing at night. I went up to the West End, which were really good. Got a really good atmosphere up there, but it's quite a walk away. And one of my other favourites in Sheffield, but it depended if somebody else were driving, and that were Anaran's, and that was quite a bit up from here. I think it was up near the university. So we're now up at the Beehive, and I don't know if this was an original pub or not, or whether it's been a pub on one part and not on the other, and then they've expanded it to make one big pub called the Beehive. People probably remember. Was the pub on the left, the right, or were there two different pubs? Quite close to the top of West Street now. So in the old bank, it's a bit foggy on my screen, it's the sun. In the old bank, there's something now called a Bijou restaurant and bar. I'm not into this continental type places. I like my old proper pubs with a bit of a nightlife. Certainly don't want to smell food while I'm out drinking. So I'm right at the top end now of West Street, and you can see Harley's over there. And somewhere out that way is Anaran's and the West End, I think. It's been such a long time since I've been to either of them, so I can't remember. And when I went to West End, I'd always had a lot to drink by then anyway, so I haven't got any memories of it. We're just off West Street, another modern pub called the Revolution, aimed at students again. These were all these back streets were all industrial areas, and if you were going to get pubs around here, they were working class pubs. So it looks like another pub, Olivier's. Same again, there's Revolution over there, and we're just off West Street, coming down I think onto Division Street or somewhere. So it looks like we've got another one here coming onto Devonshire Street. There's Devonshire Green over there, and can't quite work it out. It says Sheffield and that's about it. So I'm outside the Frog and Parrot on Division Street. Certainly remember going in Frog and Parrot. Got quite an atmosphere back then. I'm going to show you a front view of it because you probably remember it better from the front view. Doesn't look as though it's changed from my day. Well, it says on the road because it wasn't all out like this at the front. But I think even in my day, I think it was quite a student pub, if I can remember rightly. But I'm just going to go around the side because there's a picture on the side. So here you can see on the side of the Frog and Parrot, advert for Guinness. I think I'm getting close to the end of my pub tour today. But what I say to people is if I've missed any pubs, tell me what the pub is and where it was, and I'll do a third follow-up video on it. So I'm back on Carver Street, and I've actually found out where the Dickens and the Metro Bar was. It's right here. It looked so much like the other building that's now a pub. So it's called the Viper Rooms now. Surprised I didn't spot it before. You can see where I used to go downstairs into the Metro Bar. Got a really good atmosphere in there. I can only see one bit of that orb, but I think it says something else. Let's see if I can get it from the other angle. No, it does say the orb. So that's where you went into the Metro bar. And then Dickens were upstairs through that door. I wasn't keen on Dickens, but certainly used to go in the Metro bar downstairs. It was like an old cellar bar, I think, with a rounder roof in it. Still on Carver Street. Got the Tropicana, which I don't think was the pub I used to come to down here, which I'm sure was the limit. So we're at the top end of Barker's Pool. This is just another view on the Wetherspoons in this beautiful building. I think I showed it from a different angle before, but it's the Sheffield Waterworks company. It's also got a sign for Lloyd's on the corner, so I'm assuming it was a Lloyd's bank as well. But what illustrious buildings we used to produce, and now we produce such tack. So I'm back down on Cambridge Street, and I might have mentioned it before, but I think there was a pub behind here, whether it was a Sportsman or something. Just show you down Cambridge Street. Been completely redeveloped. I'm looking for the Wap and Take next, but I'm not sure where exactly that was. Alright, so I'm just on Cambridge Street, across Burgess Street. Now, where was the Wap and Take? Was it there? Or they remodelled the area, but they've completely remodelled this area around here, just giving you an idea. See, that's where Emery's was. So really, where was Wap and Take? Was it there, or is it just in a remodelled building around here? So I'm now on Norfolk Street in Sheffield, and we've got the Brown Bear there. Can't see the sign on it. Oh, I could see the sign. I wonder why I could see it. There's a sign for the Brown Bear. And then I think this was the old Royal Bank of Scotland or something like that. Might have been Halifax, but it's now another pub. So that's it for today. I think I've got all the pubs I can remember in Sheffield. If you know of any more pubs that I've missed from my 2 videos, just put the pub and the street, and I'll go down and actually do a 3rd video on it. So that's it, over and out for today, folks.